Szewczak's. It's me, Maja Szewczak, and welcome to another Idea Sunday. Today we'll be doing a door to the Glinty, Minty, Sprakle dollhouse. That was my drawing to think about potential projects with it. So now let's bring it to life by making a door. I hadn't made a door in an Idea Sunday yet, but I have in a translucent Monday. But anyways, I'll be trying something new with the door that I hadn't done before. So let's get started. Before the cabochon and the button goes on, we're going to get a piece of plastic and we're measuring it so I could get the right height for the door and the right width. I prefer to eyeball things because to me it gets the most accurate results. Just me eyeballing. I'm just good at eyeballing to measure things for dolls. So we're going to do this. Okay. Now we know this piece of plastic is perfect for this. Now let's get making it. The door will have paper lining from the inside of it. So I'll be using this gel pen. It's orange and it has yellow glitter in it. And I will be drawing short lines on it. Just like that. And I will continue until it's fully covered in gel pen lines. Since you're done with that, then get a brush and spread the gel pen ink all around it. And the sparkles are here. Okay, now the paper is wet. Let it dry before adding glue to it. And while paper is drying, I'm just going to use another piece of paper scrap to protect my surface. And I'm going to work on the heart to also prepare it as another thing that needs to dry. So we're going to add some beads all over it. I'll be using these beads and I'm going to paint them all over the heart thing. But mostly, not all of it, but mostly the pink areas. And the yellow can stay because I like this yellow. I do like the pink, but that's not really in the drawing, so it has to go. Although pink is my favorite color, it has to go because that's kind of not in the drawing. So I'm covering it up with those orangey beads. But the yellow can stay, okay? In this project, I accept it. So now the pink is all covered up in orange beads. So now we're going to let it dry. And I keep on dropping my phone case because I have to get an angle up to film myself doing this. But anyways, it has to dry before I can move up onto another step. It dries longer than water on paper, so I'm going to put that away to dry. And I'm going to glue that to the plastic of the door. So let's now paint on the glue. Hopefully I won't drop my camera where it shouldn't be. My phone is fine, but I have set up of my scenes for filming my ideas on this, so you better watch my hand angles when I'm filming. So that's what we have. That's what we have now. The sparkles are there from the gel pen. The sparkles are really beautiful. Let me just use the cone torch and wow, they're more visible in person than on camera, but they're there. And once that is applied, we're going to also glue on the button. And we're going to let the door dry. Door dried, hard, dried. I still have to add another piece of paper and plastic for the other side of the door because I want a different design in the inside of the Glinty Minty Sparkle dollhouse. So I'm just getting this piece of plastic to see if it fits, but I think I need a different piece of plastic for this. Let's see. This plastic. Well, that's the answer. Let's cut it to the right shape. Done. Now time for another paper treatment. We're going to use a piece of paper and cut it accordingly to the shape of the rectangle that we're going to glue to it later. Done. And now let's draw a border, a flower, and hard border or something. So maybe a flower border around it. I know I'm just doing doodles, but I'll make them flowers because I like doing flower-shaped doodles on things. Okay, now it's the time to draw the flowers into all these doodles. Maybe I'll use a black gel pen with red sparkles because I like this gel pen. Wow. And a bit of spreading it. And add leaves, maybe heart-shaped leaves to the flowers, just for fun. And now, let's paint it with a brush, then let the paper dry. And I'm just going to think about this, the heart-shaped thing. I tried to cover up as much of the pink as possible, but I'm going to just let some of the pink show. Maybe I'll make a transition with this peach glitter. Let's see what happens if I apply it. But only as a transition between the beads and the heart thing. We're going to apply it like this. Just need a bit of muscle to get some of the glitter glue out of the bottle, but I can handle it. So, applying it. And just spreading it around the transition area. Come on. Hold it, the phone case up because I have to film this. I always film with my phone, and that's what I use to film everything because it's easy for me. Okay, that's done. Time to let everything dry. Just going to put a slight more sparkle into the flowers on this. And we're going to let it all dry. I already cut the peach colored heart out of the piece of paper, and my last minute thought about it is to add some of this 13 grenades glow in the dark peach paint over it. It's the same color as the drawing, so it's okay to make it glow in the dark, as long as it looks like the drawing anyways in the light. And I'm going to apply the paint. I had to get through that. Seal to get it out. But now I can finally use it. I've used 13 grenades pink glow in the dark glue, but never the other colors. I only used pink for this lychee. I've used 13 grenades glow in the dark pink for that. If anybody's seen that video, but never anything else on this channel, so why not? So it will glow in the dark, and also when it glows in the dark, I try not to affect too much of the sparkle that it already has. Just very gently paint it on. Very thin and watered down, I mean. So you can still see sparkles. Because I want it to look good. But also that's going on the door. So that's what. And now we're going to let this dry overnight. And the days are getting so long I barely get to see glow in the dark anymore. But sure, it will be anyways. Fun to see it in the winter because I like seeing glow in the dark in the winter. They're so much fun to look at. But in the summer I don't really get a chance because it's too bright. Especially here in Northern Ireland. So now it's time to let it dry before doing another part of it. I told you I live in Northern Ireland and now I have to do this early in the morning or late at night because of the sunrises and sunsets being like the sun rises being really early and sunsets really late night. However, I filmed this very close to March whenever the release date was actually very late April. What timing, wow. And now I'm going to show you the glow in the dark. See if you can see anything. And yes, the glow in the dark is there. I'm trying to save on glue because it's getting increasingly expensive on eBay and I have to get my glue from there. So I'm going to make the heart wrapped in tulle fabric because I find it a good way of saving glue and giving it more sparkles. So cut a piece like this. I accidentally dropped it, so I have to pick it up. The heart is fine. Now we have to wrap it in the tulle fabric very, very tightly and stitch it on. Thread off a similar shade of orange to the heart wrapped in the tulle fabric and time to stitch it on. And be careful because needles are really sharp. You don't want to poke yourself with a needle, so be careful. And once that is stitched on, I'm going to remove the fabric excess so it's not in the way of stitching it onto the door. And now it's time to stitch it onto the door. After the heart is stitched onto the door, I've stitched in the leftover tulle bow on the door handle to the other side of the door. And here you can see that I've stitched it on. Instead of gluing it on, it's evident there. So now we're going to glue those pieces together. Just use whatever I need and not overdo it, because I did use a lot on the heart to cover the pink part in orange beads. So now we're going to get this on with glue, because after that I'll be stitching the door to the dollhouse, because that's how I would do doors. Now it has to go on. Now it's glued on. Time to let it dry. The door dried. It took a bit of trimming to get it right, but now it's time to stitch the door to the piece of cardboard that the Glinty Minty Sparkle dollhouse is made out of. And also, considering my drawing, there would be some hearts up at the top of it. But first, let's get the door on. And yes, I will be using the same orange thread for that. If I get leftovers, I could just use them for the box that is shaped like a tiger or something, because I'm doing a tiger thing, like a storage box. So let me just show you. Just collecting orange and black threads for the tiger. So that's what. But anyways, let's stitch the door on. So push it as hard as possible. The needle and thread, and make sure you use a strong thread. And needle, thread. Make sure it's strong enough to hold it, while needle should be stronger usually. Okay, push. Just have to push the needle really hard to get it done. And it's a little bit sharp. It's very sharp, so make sure you be safe. And if you do not trust yourself with that, get someone who you trust not to poke themselves with that, because it's really sharp. Come on. And it's hard to film sewing such things, so there's that. You just need to use your full force to get the needle through the plastic and cardboard, because it's way sturdier and harder than fabric. So fabric is really soft compared to what I have to work with. So there's that. And that's why for that you need stronger needles. Okay, come on. If you are afraid of needles, don't do this. Get someone who isn't, probably. And now we're going to just knot. Get to close it. I'm not afraid of needles, but they can be sharp if you're not careful with a needle. They're really sharp. Okay, that's done. Time to now glue on the loose thread. And we're going to also hide it with hearts, because that is on the drawing. So the door can close and open. That's good. I thought I'm going to need press studs, but they don't seem needed anymore for this. Sometimes I use press studs in Idea Sundays, and sometimes I don't. Depends on the project. So now I'm going to put the needle away and glue hearts to hide this thread that I had to add, and also add beads to this area. But first, let's get the hearts on. Now I've gathered the yellow, orangey yellow ones. Time to glue them on. And this will hide the unintentional messy knots, because I always do really messy knots in sewing. Sometimes it's good, sometimes bad, but okay, depends on where I'm doing them. But this is getting covered up in heart to match the door thing. Oops, I dropped one. No! Fine, let's just glue it on. That's better. How many did I put in there? 2, 3, 4. There's 4 in that drawing where I think about this doll height, so just going to adjust them a bit. There, that's better. Now this needs to dry, and to not waste any glue, I'm also going to get the same beads that I did for the heart on the door. After applying the beads to the hearts, I've also applied beads here to finish this off, whatever it was on the drawing. However, this here needs to dry before I can apply the peach glow-in-the-dark paint. But I could do glow-in-the-dark freckles on the door as a finishing touch. I'm applying the freckles with this glow-in-the-dark paint. I open it up and I grab a pen to select some paint out of it. The sharp side, I get chunks of paint on this lid, and carefully with the pen bead, I'm applying the freckles, the peach glow-in-the-dark freckles on the door. And I think I'll also do it to these beads here. Some peach ones. And let's switch to white. Glow-in-the-dark paint. The white is the glowiest of them all. However, there's no green in that set, but fine. Let's start applying the white that I hadn't even opened. There, it's opened like this. Time to apply dots of it. Freckly dots of the white. So I actually am starting to like this glow-in-the-dark paint. I buy a lot of glow-in-the-dark paints in general if I have the chance to buy them in stores, and I jump on a lot of opportunities to buy it if I could. And I get to test them out as much as possible. And sorting grenades when they had the paints. They are no exception. Now I'm going to get some pink on the beads as well as this. Now I'm putting away the white and the peach. Time for pink. Glow in the dark. Just looking for different daylight results as well as in the dark results for glow in the dark. So that's why I buy a lot of glow in the dark from a lot of brands that you can get in store. And it's good to know your glow in the dark paints and pigments and things. Okay. Time to let it all dry. The hearts have dried. And also the glow in the dark paints. Now I'm going to paint the hearts with the glow in the dark. Paint the orange one to also make this glow in the dark. So just painted it on. And now I'm going to use the rest of the paint on my brush to do some frecklish detailing around the stitching lines of the door. So I gathered the paint like this. And I'll put the big brush away. And now we're going to paint it on. I also have the Works Pink glow in the dark paint, which I could use. I've also used that in the Lucia comparison. It glows in the dark, but it's a lighter pink during the day, and it glows more peach than bright orange, so I'm using it. So just going to get it on this, and I'm going to get my pen for painting this on, applying it on the pin. And now we're going to paint the spots on very, very lightly. With the peach ones around the stitching lines on the door, because I want them to be at least a little bit less visible. They're still going to be visible anyways. Just want them to be at least slightly less visible. Hopefully this theory works. Dot, dot, dot. Get more of it on the pin. let's dot this here. Dot, dot, dot. I think I should draw this in the thinking book that's my thinking book about my dollhouse items and things. Here is my thinking book. Okay, let's continue painting those dots on. They glow in the dark, and maybe there's a reason why I filmed this in late February. Because during summer there would be like a lot of daylight and the only time to see it in the dark would be late night. So in the summer not really, but during the winter more. I should do more glow in the dark things for winter. I mean not for winter but during winter, because of the daylight being so short and not ironed during the winter. So I'm just dotting things on like this with the pink. The lighter pink glow in the dark. They are different store-bought brands of glow in the dark paint, so that's why they're different. But I just count them like this is a light, the bright or the dark glow in the dark paint, the dark pink, and the light pink is this dark pink, light pink, dark pink, light pink. Okay, so now we're going to let it all dry before concluding this episode. And I still have paint there, but I'll just use it to paint something else while this dries. Everything dried. I'm going to turn off the light to show you the glow in the dark, and wow! There's actually sparkles in the dark. And the peach is looking actually peach in the dark. Very impressed by the glow, and looks sparkly even at night, even when the lights are off. Very pleased. I'm going to take a photo of it before concluding the video. The wider bits glow green, and the peach glows peach. Same with the pinks and everything. Time to get the light back on. So, Szewczaks, what do you think of the door? Please tell me in the comments. And finally, it looks like my drawing. However, I'm still thinking of the windows. just now. But once I'll think of it, I'll get it done. But anyways, please tell me what you think of the door. And it can open and close. I'm very pleased that although I like using press studs, I was able to get a fully functional door without the need of press studs. But anyways, please tell me what you think of everything. And bye, Szewczaks. See you in another video. Bye.